Мало есть книг о советской космонавтике, выходящей на Западе. В основном пишут о том покорении Луны, об американцах. Это настоящий роман, основанный полностью на документах, как читается, захватывающий. И я всем действительно рекомендую эту книгу прочитать. Я совершенно уверен, что она будет переведена в России, она это заслуживает.
It's a very important moment to celebrate what happened 60 years ago on April the 12th, 1961. It is, for me, a story which transcends nations, peoples, and actually holds all of us as human beings in its excitement and in its spectacle. Because at 9:07 a.m. on the morning of April the 12th, 1961, this young man, Yuri Gagarin, sits in a padded sphere, essentially, on top of the biggest rocket in the world. And 11 minutes later, he is looking down on that world as no human eye has looked down on that world. 3.5 billion years. All life in this planet has clung to the planet inside our biosphere. And suddenly one man, this young man, leaves the biosphere and looks down and sees the beauty of our planet and its intense fragility as well, that thin, thin blue line of atmosphere. And he races at 28,000 kilometers an hour across the world, across oceans, across deserts, across countries which have no borders. It is such an extraordinary moment in history. It's not just because it's an adventure, not just because it took place as a race between the superpowers in 1961 in the Cold War. It's much bigger than that. It is a story about us, our humanity, and what we can achieve. And it's also an incredible, thrilling adventure. This story is not really known so much in the English-speaking world. We all know about the spectacular achievement of putting a human being on the moon in 1969, but before that first, there was another first. And Yuri Gagarin was that other first. And for me, it's a greater first, because however spectacular and incredible the moon landings were, the first person to step into the cosmos, the first person to start a journey that we are all on now, is, you cannot surpass that moment. My hope is that that first step that Yuri Gagarin took 60 years ago is a step into an incredible, brave new world where people can move out into the other planets in the solar system. And I do see that happening now. What I pray doesn't happen is that we end up with more space races and we end up with more of the conflict that we've had in the past. Because ultimately, then what happens is the sense of human adventure that this is all about gets swallowed up in politics. And I think this is bigger than politics, much bigger. I think this is about our destiny as human beings. And I think it's also about our ability to do great things. And I think it's also about our future as a species. All of us is what I think.